So you probably saw a screenshot of the scene at the end of my previous video. What if I told you that none of this was unwrapped and textured in a 3D modeling software like Maya or Max or Blender, but was all done in Unreal Engine? Unreal, right? Let me explain. So before we get on with the video, I want to invite all of you guys to the Discord server. It would be great to have all of you over there. Like you can see, we are actually growing now and we have quite a few people joining every day. Clearly that's a lie. But yeah, it would be amazing to have all of you over there. We can use Discord to chat with each other, help each other. I also use Discord to give more updates on the project than I can give on YouTube itself. Also, when you join the Discord server, make sure you use the roles channel to get the specific roles that suit you. Let's get on with the video. So this room over here is the room where the player, along with the companion, enters the level and also finishes the level, as discussed in the blockout video. The floor you see over here is just modeled by me in Maya. I've not done any unwrapping, I've not done any texturing before taking it into Unreal Engine. All I did was I took this floor, I took the model, I exported an FBX from Maya and I took it straight into Unreal Engine. I'll show you a demo by doing the same for another room. Let's go to this room, which is section 4, and let's start doing the same process that I did with section 7 over there. When using this technique, you need to make sure that the model you import from your 3D modeling software has quite a few subdivisions. It's because we're using this technique called a Vertex painting blend material. So the more subdivisions that you add, it's going to add that many vertices to your model, which will make the Vertex painting a lot more detailed and a lot more better. Once your model is ready, make sure you export it as an FBX into any folder that you feel like, and then you go into Unreal Engine and import that model. Over here, this is the same floor that I just showed you in Maya. In fact, I'm going to re-import this model right now so that you see exactly what I see when I import a new model into Unreal Engine. So as soon as I re-import this, you can see these checker boxes have changed abruptly. That's because this model is not unwrapped at all. So what I do over here, because I don't know how to do any unwrapping, is I use one of Unreal's unwrapping tools. Keep in mind, this is not the ideal way to do stuff when you're doing like a big project, working in a studio or something. You have to do a professional unwrap. I am doing this technique only because I am doing a single level and it's only for a demo purpose. So yeah, so what I did was I double click on my asset. I came into the asset editor over here. Now what I'm going to do is, let's focus on the model itself. Now you see this model has the same kind of checker boxes as you saw in the scene over here. Now Unreal's tool to unwrap is amazing. It saves me a lot of time and also allows me to avoid unwrapping entirely. So you just go to this UV button over here as soon as you open the asset editor, and then you just click the unwrap UV. By default, this should be the settings. Make sure you have the automatic light map setup as well, because when you're baking lights, you need a light map UV, which this particular tool generates for you as well. You just leave it at default. It should be 66. for the angle threshold and just hit proceed. As soon as you do that, it just shows you over here your new unwrapped model. If you just go here and to your channels, you see both your channel 0 and channel 1 are properly unwrapped for you. You just hit save and close this, and you come back to your scene and it's updated over here as well. Alright, so now that the UVs are set and so is the light map UV, I'm gonna just do a quick lighting only build so that the scene gets lit up properly, and I will get back to you after that. Right, so now that the lighting is built, let's get on with creating our blend material. To do that, we need the Megascans plugin installed with Unreal Engine. There are many videos on YouTube already on how to enable Megascans plugin with Unreal Engine, but if you want me to do a dedicated video on that, just let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, so once you have the plugin installed, you click on the Megascans plugin. Right, now this is very important. You have to make sure that enable displacement, this particular option over here, is checkered true, because when you install the plugin originally it comes false. It's set to false, so you have to enable that, and after you enable that you have to close the engine and restart it, and only after this is when you import your materials from Megascans. If you import all your materials when this was not checkered true, all your materials like just not work with the blend materials that we're going to speak about today. So you make sure that you import your materials only after this option has been checked true. Right, so after all that is done, you import your materials into Unreal Engine. So I'm just going to quickly go into my Megascans folder into surfaces. So for my floor, I use a blend of 3 materials. That's going to be the cracked wooden planks, the ground forest, and the wooden planks. Those are the 3 materials I use. Make a note, I'm selecting all 3 folders at the same time by using the folder view over here on the left. If you want to open that, you just so I think this is your default view. Just click the small button and you can see all the folders in a hierarchy over there. But yeah, you select all those 3 folders, and now you see your 3 material instances over here from all the 3 materials, right? Yeah, so another important thing, you just do not randomly select all 3 and just go here and create your blend material. No. After you open your Megascans plugin again, you have to select the 3 materials based on what you want as your base layer, your middle layer, and as your top layer. So for example, I want my base layer to be the wooden planks. That's why I'm going to select that first. I then want my cracked wooden planks to be the second layer, which is going to be the middle layer. So I'm going to select that second, and I want the ground forest to be the topmost layer in this blend material. So that's what I'm going to select last. And then I just set a destination path to my blend materials folder, which is not here actually. I want to take it into my materials folder in blend materials. That's my folder, and I'll give it the name section 4 underscore floor material underscore section 4. Let's let's just give m underscore section 4 underscore floor, right? And I'm going to just hit the create blend material. It's going to load for a couple of seconds, and should have created my blend material now. Click on the contents, materials, blend materials, and that's my new one, right? So it's going to quickly compile some shaders. You save your your material, go here and drag it into your fluorescent material. It's going to take a couple of seconds, and it should load up your very base layer in the beginning. The sizing and everything is a bit off because you need to adjust the tiling and offset everything based on your needs. But yeah, that's your base layer, which is the wooden planks layer. Now before we edit, let's just give this a quick save. We open the material. Right, so once you're in the material itself, the blend material, you have to enable all these adjustment layers. I don't know why it's weird. You have to adjust both here and there. It's weird, but you have to do both, otherwise it's just not going to work. Right, so these are all the adjustments for your base, middle and top layer. Now you can see there's a puddle layer here as well. Yes, so blend materials come with a layer of their own, which is the puddle layer, where you can mix small puddles on your surfaces, on your 3D models, and it looks really good. It looks very natural and realistic. It's absolutely amazing. I've used it a lot. If you noticed it, it's there on the floor in section 7 as well. But yeah, so now that we've enabled all these adjustments, you have individual things that you can edit for each layer. Like you can adjust the rotation of your material of the base layer. Undo that. You can adjust the albedo tint, so you can change the color of your individual layers as well. There are different albedo controls. You change the saturation, your brightness, or your contrast, and if it's useless, it technically does nothing, so clearly useless. Yeah, so you have that kind of control. You can adjust the strength of your normal, which is the normal map over here. You can adjust how much it impacts your layer, the roughness and specular and so on. If you want to adjust the tiling, you just go all the way to the bottom under your base layer, just above your middle layer. Check that, and that I already know the values for these, so I'm going to set it at 7.5 and 7.5, and I'm going to also change the rotation, the angle. Where to go? There it is. I think I made that 90. No, it was not that. My bad. Right, it was. Yeah, whatever, something like that. I'll change it later. But yeah, it gives you an idea of what you can do with the blend materials. Yeah, so all the things that I just showed you in the base layer, you can do that on the other layers as well, but obviously you can't see the other layers now. So let's just get on to Vertex painting first. So what you do is you select your 3D model, which you have your blend material on. You go into modes and go into mesh painting. Okay, now over here it'll let you select, but you've already selected your model. You hit paint, and this is just like a Photoshop masking tool. Alright, so you start with your base layer, which is not on any of these channels, that comes pre-painted. You are just basically painting on top of this now. So the red layer is going to be controlling your middle layer, and the green layer is going to be controlling your top layer, and the blue layer is going the blue channel is going to be controlling your puddle layer. Right, so let's just paint a few cracked planks on a model. Right, so make sure it's on black so that you're actually painting. White is to erase. That's right there. And let's adjust the size to, let's say, 0.1, and the strength also to 0.2. Alright, and let's start painting. Just gonna drag and do all the coloring. You know what, let's just keep the strength at 0.4 and the size at 0.2. it's just quicker. Right, straight off the back you can see that the tiling on this house also has to be adjusted. Now you are under your middle layer now, okay, and you go all the way down, you adjust the tiling, open it, let's say give it 10, I guess, just for I'm pretty sure that's a bit too much, but yeah, just to explain again what this is. And I'm gonna also paint your top layer, which is the grass, now over here, let's say. Okay, and now actually, you know what, let's first explain with just 2 layers. If you go in all the way to the top and you see this blend controls, yeah, you go into base and middle layer blend controls and you enable that. You can adjust different things like the blend amount, the blend contrast, and the fall off. So the blend amount basically, like it starts taking into consideration the displacement values of your base layer. Now you see it's starting to take that into consideration, and it's going between the 2 planks of the wood because there's space over there. And imagine this now with a grass kind of layer. I'm gonna set this back to 1, and I'm gonna put the top layer, I'm gonna paint some grass on there. Alright, and now I'm gonna set the blend amount here. Okay, now you're gonna start seeing a more natural kind of blend between the different layers now. You see that the grass is actually starting to get into the gaps between planks. It's very natural and looks really beautiful if you actually put in some time into adjusting these different values. So there are other settings as well, like the blend contrast, the blend fall off, which essentially is like just adjusting the kind of fall off you have at the edges of the materials. So if I just reduce that, it's going to be having more of a smoother blending between the middle layer and the base layer. Alright, now that we've spoken about the different layers and the different settings each of them have and how they can blend with each other, there is another layer which creates our puddles for us. Like mentioned earlier, you have to enable this puddle layer on the left and on the right hand side to be able to access this layer, and you can paint the puddle on your 3D model by using the blue channel. So you just go to you disable all the other channels, click on the blue channel, and you just set the strength and size and your fall off based on your particular needs, and then you just paint. And you have to make sure that the mask is on black color for painting and it's white color to erase, like that. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna paint that back on here, and let's take a look at the settings. So if you go down all the way down in the blend material itself, you'll find the puddle layer over here, which has its very own settings. This one adjusts the height, which is pretty obvious from the name. I reduce the height and I increase it. It reduces the height of the puddle and increases it. The opacity obviously changes the opacity of the water. Fresnel power, I think it's yeah, so it just adjusts the shininess, I think, not really sure. There's the roughness, don't really know what that does with water. And there's like, oh yeah, the albedo. So this is like the albedo tint that we saw earlier, like this one in the regular layers. You just click there and then you can adjust your color. You can see the puddle is changing colors based on what I'm selecting. Disable that. And yeah, just like different stuff. You can have also wave controls, which is essentially the Puddle also does good light reflections and stuff. It looks absolutely insane. The wave scale adjusts the waves, pretty obvious. The wave speed and the normal strength of the waves, and obviously the photons useless. Liquid color, again, I don't know how it's different from the albedo tint, but yeah, you have that as well. And yeah, that's basically the blend material. Yeah, so if you actually play around with the settings in the blend material, there is a lot you can do with it. Like I have done partly with this room over here. There's still a lot to be done with this room. It's not even near to completion, and it still looks pretty decent in my opinion. It was like I need to work on the lighting, probably change the assets here and there. I obviously needed to populate the level based on the paper design. Yeah, there's still lots and lots of work to do. But yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you liked the tutorial and it turns out to be very helpful for you. Please leave a like and subscribe to this video. Do not forget to join the Discord server. And I think I will see you in the next video. Merry Christmas and a very, very happy new year to all of you. I hope 2021 is much better than 2020 was, and I guess I will see you in the next year. So that's been it. My name's Anuj. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye.